Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. It's me, the fat kid, sitting down in Colombia, South America, right as the suburb of Medellin, and you know where that is. You know the people associated with that. I'm not going to get into that. All right, moving along. It's like less than 50% of what Donald Trump says is truthful. And that's not just him. That's all the politicians that are out there on that side of the aisle, and probably a lot of the Democrats too, because the Democrats don't say anything, and when they do, it's not the brightest thing to say. I've never seen a political party as quiet as the Democrats are. So unless they're planning a civil war, or they're busy purchasing bomb shelters and what have you so they could be safe during the Civil War, or safe rooms being constructed in their houses, their Democratic Party is done. All right, we are basically a one-party country right now, run by a fascist fat man who's, depending on who you listen to, is in bad health and everything like that. But I don't know if that's true or not. One of the Occupy Democrat sites that puts up videos came up with this statement that Trump hasn't been seen in something like 10 days. That's not true. I'm not sure how many days he's been missing, but I'm not even sure he's missing because I'm pretty sure I saw him during the week. Videos of him doing something or another, signing something or whatever. Maybe it wasn't a live video. I thought it was, but you know. So this is another case of bad headlines so he can make money. And if you listen to this, and that particular story said something about something bad, something really mysterious happened last night in the White House, and that's not true. What really surprised me was that it took into 75% of that video showing other stories before they got to that story that was about a minute and a half long. All right, so they didn't really cover the story. They just put that up so that they could say it was part of that the headline was real, and it's not. All right, so moving along again. Pakistanians coming to the UN for the General Assembly, and those that are here for the General Assembly, the opening of the General Assembly, are being denied visas and asked to leave the country. I don't know if the UN can do anything about that. I think that's just another Trump thing, you know, and I know the UN's been here since the 1940s, and it's popular New York City visiting site. If I'm member country of the UN, I move it someplace else. More neutral country. France, Belgium's a nice place. Canada's even nice. Should be okay, you know. But we've got people staying here. We've got that don't have a right, that shouldn't be here. The UN, a lot of times, is a way for them to hide people that they don't want to be seen, you know. Trump has been very loud about some things, and he's creating he's creating an illusion to distract the American people from something, and we don't know what at the moment. So it's difficult to sit there and say this is being distracted or that's being distracted, because there's just so much bullshit going on, you know. His Gestapo people are yanking people off the street, just like they did in Germany and the KGB did in Russia. Uh, there's censorship that you're not really seeing. There's a lot of really nasty, bad stuff going on. And I don't know if I can see anything like that before in my life in the United States. I really don't think anything like this has ever happened. And I'll tell you, we're taking our status in the Americas and in the world, and it's just destroying it and putting us into a position of a large third world country. Like, right, we're actually putting us in the same category as Russia and China in terms of our relationships with other countries. You know, something wrong with Trump's thinking, and I don't know what it is. But his thinking processes just aren't good. Neither are the people surrounding him, because you can have, it's like one of the reasons they make iPhones every year and introduce a new one isn't because the technology's improved or they're so much better. Is that they have to have people buy them. If they don't, Apple goes out of business. If they built a phone that was good enough to last 10 years and you kept it for 10 years, Apple wouldn't be the company they are today. They wouldn't be $1 trillion company. All right, they'd be like, everybody else. Same with Microsoft, same with everybody else. There has to be a reason for them to buy it. Now, if they keep firing people, there's not going to be anybody to manufacture this stuff, and there's not going to be anybody have money to buy some of this stuff that's out there now, Our economy's headed for a very big shock, and it's not just the tariffs, it's the unemployment that's going to suddenly rock the country, because you don't have people to check on items and make sure the people who are buying are good items, and they're going to stop buying America. And that's going to be a problem. You can build all you want, but there's got to be people to buy it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that's there, really. And with Trump being so quiet, you have to watch what he's doing to the Social Security, because he's the sneakiest, scummiest fat person I know. He's just a horrible, horrible man, and if he can destroy Social Security, he will. The Republicans have always been against Social Security. That's not just him. Go back to Reagan. Reagan borrowed money from the Social Security and said he'd pay it back and never did. That's why the Social Security is slightly unstable right now and has a closing down point of 2033. And when that happens, well, Trump won't be around. Neither will I, but that's beside the point. If I'm around, I probably won't be able to notice anything. But it's a part of the American personality right now. We don't care about our old people. All right, it's the same thing in Colombia. When you get old to a certain age, like me, at my age, doctors don't give a shit. They'll see you when they can see you. They're really not going to do anything to try and prolong your life, because, and I've seen, I want to say 3 or 4 of the members of this family that hit 80 and were sat in a corner and let vegetate, and I refuse to vegetate. I don't care if they sit me in a corner, but I'm not going to vegetate. I'm going to make them go buy me books or stuff, and and I'm going to sit and carve my wood until I get it right, or I don't get it right. That's just life. I'm not going to sit around and let them dictate what my thought processes are, because that's when these people become senile. I think senility and dementia are also a part of. As you get older, you stop doing things. Now, they said that, they already came out with a thing about sex being good for the prostate. Once you stop having sex, and whether it's self-sex or co-sex or whatever type of sex you're having, the chances of you getting prostate cancer or an enlarged prostate increase drastically because it's not being used. Well, it's the same thing with the brain. If you sit people down in a corner and you don't uh, associate with them anymore, and like me, most of my friends in the United States, my long-term friends are dead. My best friends are all dead. There's only one alive out there now. Best friend. I have a lot of people I know and that I'm friendly with and I communicate with, but I have young friends down here. That's why it's important that older people get visits from younger people. And I'm not talking about an 80-year-old dealing with a 14-year-old. That unless the 14-year-old's very, very smart. The occasional visit from the 14-year-old is cool because you have life experience. You can share it with them. Not that they'll listen, but then you got to remember you didn't listen either when you were a kid. It's just all part of life. We communicate. Sometimes we listen. Sometimes we don't. But like I said, like this whole story started with me telling you that Trump is out there distracting us, and he's messing with Social Security. So we have to watch that. We have to be very careful how he does that, and we make sure he doesn't get to ruin it before it's going to expire. So that there's some sort of safety net for older people. And that must mean that if you have older relatives, I think you should start being prepared to take care of them in some manner, shape, or form. Even if it's just nothing more than helping them make money. Okay. All right. Now. I think this is what this is about. Say 10 years ago, if somebody said they wanted to move out of the country or they wanted to move someplace else, it was very difficult. Not talking about the logistics part of it, which is the moving expenses and all that. That's still the same cost. That's still the same problem. But it's the mental attitude you had. Everything's here. This is such a great country. Why do I want to leave? Well, it's not that hard to do anymore, unfortunately. The reason being that this isn't such a nice place anymore. It's a beautiful country. It's got some great places to go visit. But you have the threat of being picked up on the street and then as an American citizen being deported to Somalia or the Belgian Congo or something like that. You don't know. If you can't speak your mind without some sort of fear, I guess now. I don't know. I don't live up there. I don't speak my mind in public down here either because down here you can get more violent solutions. But the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. But I see more articles about people leaving the country, going to Italy, going to some other country. Well, you have to have a certain amount of education to do that because you're going to have to learn the language. I'm lucky that I came down here with somebody who spoke the language. I have most of my relatives speak English to a certain degree down here, so I'm not pressed to. And I understand a lot of Spanish, and I understand situational translations and stuff like that, so I can survive. If I had to survive on my own, I'm not sure, but I'd work it out. It's just that it's not that hard to make a move anymore, and there are a lot of countries that if you're in good health, that you can move to. And people aren't using that emotional tie to the United States anymore because there's no emotional tie here. Patriotism is going out the window as our country turns around and starts turning towards fascism. You know, I don't know. I see stories, and I cannot prove them. This kid from Occupying Democrats needs to be fact checked on everything he says now, I guess. But he says, he puts articles up that there's a mutiny in the military because they don't want to do what they're being asked to do. The military never wants to do what they're being asked to do, Nobody jumps up and down and says, I want to go to war. If you do, there's something, you need to be checked out a little bit, because that's not putting your life on the line is like a cop, Cops put their life on the line every day. And everybody says, no, they don't. Yes, they do. All right, stop the bullshit. Firemen, same way. And it takes a special kind of person. Normalcy is to run away from danger, run away from fire. Firemen, police officers run to danger, run towards the fire. That's not normal. Okay? Doesn't make them an abnormal person, they're not crazy or anything like that, but that's not a normal. Look who showed up at the end of the video. Lucy's here. Okay. Alright, so listen, I'm reaching the end of this video. I was going to talk some college football, but nothing's really happening yet. There's some games on. I can't get any games down here, so I have to go searching scores and statistics and everything else before I can talk about it. And there's no pro football Sunday, because the season starts next week, thank God. I will be in touch on Monday, and I will, if somebody wants to talk college football, I'll be more than happy to do it. But that's it. Tuesday, I do my live thing. Nobody watches it, so I have to do 2 videos. If I don't have any doctor's appointments or anything like that. It's the beginning of the month, so I have some shopping to do and things like that. Hopefully I'll get it done between today and tomorrow. If not, I might be very late next week, so don't get excited about it. Just look for the video when you get home from work or something like that, or before you leave the office, and it'll be up by then. It'll be up by the afternoon. If it's not, then, something different happened. I'm having, my wife's niece lives in, now I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to say Switzerland, but it might be Sweden. I get the two of them confused all the time, so that's, when you hear it, it's only Swiss is all you hear when they talk about it in Spanish. They say Swiss, and that's it, so it's a little difficult. But anyhow, she's coming with her daughter, my niece by marriage. It's Nedley's daughter and her daughter. And I met her a few years ago, the daughter, and cute as a bunny. She was only about a year old or something like that. She's 5 now, I think. And I love Maritza. She's funny. She's crazy, but she's funny. So that's cool. So they'll be around, and I might not do a video that day or something. They're supposed to come Wednesday, but they're not coming here directly. They're stopping off in her cousin's house up in near the airport. They're going to spend the night there, I think. So maybe Thursday or Friday I might have a problem doing a video, but that's life. All right. Still check me out. I should know the day in advance and be able to say something to you to what I'm going to do. But anyhow, the season starts. Everything's going to be, football's going to be big now. We'll have something else to talk about. So, because I have a thing called DAS, I see every game. So, and I can watch them, and if I want to, I can watch every game. But I watch football from roughly 11 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. At least 12 hours of football from now on. So, everybody take care. Remember, subscribe, okay? And comment and like me and everything else, because I'm a likable guy. And I'll see you on Monday, because you know I'm not here tomorrow. So have a nice weekend, folks.